Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Well, g'day everyone. We finally got there. Apologies, we're a little bit late, but I am joined by one of the coolest cats in the world, Mr. Donnie Elgin. And Donnie, mate, we were just talking before and those studies weren't on, mate. So what is going on?
Well, mate, I've got a new sponsor, JT.
Hello. Okay. Do talk. What have we got?
Well, you being my manager, you'd normally be across any sort of sponsorships that I get.
Mate, I got no idea what's going on. I don't even know what this big gig is yet. I'm still waiting.
What I can tell you, JT, is my new sponsor. Well, he's also no, it's absolute crap, JT. You know, I work in events and we go to a lot of events, and the good people at APM were giving away some sunnies today, and I just said they look bloody fantastic on my head. They had a nice little slogan too. Your future is brighter with APM. So, JT, I said I'd be delighted to rock these sunnies, but honestly, I think they've done stuff all for my appearance. They certainly haven't done anything for our timing of being able to get on time for a start. JT, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Well, mate, I can hear you okay, but who cares what I can hear? The important thing is, can our listeners hear us okay? So, of course, if you are watching, please let us know. The usual sound check. One day we will get this right. It's not today, though, but we will get it right one day.
Well, I'll tell you what I did is I got rid of all my fancy gadgets and shit, and I just went back to basics. So I'm hoping my back to basics has made a difference. And if not, well, our lovely listeners will let us know. But that is a nice thing to see from your mum. Perfect. I'm going to take that our audio JT is right for the first time probably in the last 8 seasons. So
bloody magnificent. So, mate, now it's been obviously a few weeks since we've caught up. There's been a lot going on, Donnie.
Yes, mate.
Mate, so I'm going to start with what have you been up to, Donnie? Because mate, you're normally on the road just about every week anyway, and I think last time we spoke to you, you were over in Vietnam, and and you're back.
That was loose, mate. I made it back. What was wonderful about Vietnam is I got to go to Long Tan. I got to go there with my dad. I got a couple of mates went with me, and the trip had its moments. And I did put something on our Facebook page to say, this is why I'm having trouble sleeping, because I was facing the world's loudest
music.
Nightclub.
Yeah,
that's right.
Bloody hell.
And that was just off its tree. So Vietnam's a great place to visit. Wouldn't want to live in the street I was visiting, walking street. But anyway, we did get to Long Tan, and that was really a highlight for us. Spent some time in Thailand, and we didn't tune in. We didn't do a podcast from Thailand, but then we got back. Geez, the views, JT, they were spectacular. For those of you that are listening and watching and wondering when we're going back and inviting everybody who wants to come for the greatest party of all time, the flights are booked, and we'll be there for Songkran, JT. Next year,
the water festival.
Yes, the water festival. So I'm bloody super pumped by that. The kids, everyone, we're just saying, you know what, if you want to come, we will be there, and it will be an absolute ripper. And JT, the people are speaking, they're not interested in Vietnam, they're interested in, are you representing the country? What is this? What's going on?
Donnie, mate, it's nearly Olympics time. It's 16 days. I'm pumped. Mate, as a former Paralympian yourself, mate, 16 days, are you just sleepless? What's going on? Because I'm pumped.
Wait a minute, are you talking Paralympics, JT? Have you amputated something we can't see?
No, I've got all my bits.
Quite a disability.
I've got all my bits so far, but I don't know if they all work. But they're all attached at least.
You do know the Paralympics got a lot of range. We've got wheelies, we've got acquired brain injuries, and that's not out of the range how many bloody operations you've had. So, okay, so we're just supporting. We're not quite ready to join. Is that what you're telling me?
Mate, I'm going early. I'm starting the Olympic stuff now. I am starting to deck out in the Olympics gear. And it's not only that, Donnie, because tonight, now I don't know our good listeners know this, mate, but I am
tennis,
mate, I'm into my tennis, mate. Bloody Dimonor into the quarters tonight. How pumped.
Have we got some, I'm not suggesting we're a betting agency, but how good are
Mate,
our players? Is he looking?
put your house on it. He's playing Novak, some bloke called Novak Djokovic or Docker, or I don't know, mate. Some bloke, never heard of him,
Some
mate.
unknown.
Played him,
Yeah.
mate. Some unknown hack. He's just a hack, mate. So he's playing him tonight. Gets through that into the semi-finals. Once he's in the semi-finals, mate, just give him the cup. It's a done deal. So, mate, pumped. It's on tonight.
Righto, strawberries and cream, no sleep tonight. What's his name again? Who are we supporting? The
Mate,
Jock
Alex
or the other one?
Alex Diminor,
The Aussie.
come on. He's like,
Diminor,
he's number,
the Aussie, mate, of course.
tell you what, he's just flown under the radar, mate. He's number 6 in the world at the moment. It's a bloody amazing effort. Awesome.
It's hardly under the radar. 6 in the world is up there, JT.
But that's what I'm saying. And, like, no one's talking about this bloke. He's number 6 in the world. We should be all bloody on board and behind him. He's the modern-day Leighton Hewitt, who is actually his coach. So, mate, get on board, people.
Righto, we'll get on board. I absolutely will confess that I haven't been on board. I got over tennis when all those spoilt brats, the bloody Tomics and the other flogs were having a hissy pit and being flogged. I just said, I'm not watching that shit. So if you're saying there's a good, true bloke, the last time I really
Good
got
bloke.
loving tennis, I took a bit to warm to him. He was a little spoilt shit face at the start, but he come good. Come on! But well, honestly, Pat Rafter.
Doesn't everyone love
Everyone's
Pat?
favourite.
Still loves Pat, right?
Love Pat Rafter. So it's anyway. I will tune in, JT. I'm very confident that Diminor will do the job tonight, and then we will have a Diminor special next week if he wins. How's that sound, mate?
Mate, we'll get him on, mate. I'm sure through our extensive network, we'll just get him on, mate. He'll be sick of media by then, but once the GiddyUp podcast reaches out, mate, he'll be like, hello, now I know I've made it.
Well, I'll tell you what else, JT, I've been doing in the absence of having a chat with you, mate, is I jumped on another podcast. I did some filming for one today.
Hang on. Sorry, what? You're cheating on me. You're cheating on me.
No,
It's like,
no,
hang on,
JT.
what?
It's not like that. No, I was a guest, JT, a guest on the other podcast.
a guest, right,
And
okay,
the opportunity that I had was to go on to Roll with the Punches, JT. And it was Tiffany Cook and I
Roll
can
with the
tell you,
punches.
mate,
What's that mean?
roll with the punches. It just means just go with the flow. Don't get your knickers in a knot. Just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And the moment I met Tiffany, and it was through a friend of ours, Dee Armstrong, who put us together and said, oh, you two will be all right to have a chat. And turns out we were. And Tiff's podcast, I just spoke to her a bit like we are now. And there was a picture of a boxer behind her. And I said, oi, before we start anything, tell me about that picture of a boxer. Because, I did do a little bit in the day and jump in there, but, sparring and shit and a bit of training. And I spoke to her about it and she goes, that's me. I was about to come out for my last fight. I go, whoa, back this up. And she said, that picture is now the album cover of Mark Seymour's latest album. And I shit you not. I go, well, that's impressive, mate. Yeah. That's very impressive. So big shout out to Tiff. Her podcast is an absolute ripper. Roll with the punches. Tune into that, but not now. Just stay here with us for a little while.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
We're going to entice you with prizes and we've got footy tickets, JT. Big game coming up and I've got the right tickets for that. And JT, another one, what I've been up to since I saw you last, is I've got to go along to the NIB Tigers. And not only did I get invited down to the Richmond Tigers room to have an address with the NIB crew that invited me along, but JT, the coach of the Tigers actually spoke to the 8 of us and said, righto, we're playing Carlton, this is what their strengths are, this is what we're working on. Like, how bloody good is this to be able to get that access and go down? And then, of course, Simon, the guy I was a guest of, he was presenting the football that day, and so I got to go down there. So there was a little bit of few photos and stuff, JT. I'll pop them up in our group chat so that we can share that love, but it was a bloody awesome thing. So just a shout out to anyone who wants to invite JT or myself along to the football or any special bloody thing you're doing. We're good for it. We love going out and being involved. So men of the people we are, JT.
Mate, we are. And, especially loving footy at the moment, mate, because the Roos are back. I know not all our listeners are into footy, but, mate.
When you say back, just
mate, we are. We've won 2 out of our last 3, and we just lost a couple of those, mate. We are the form team of the comp at the moment, so look out. It's big.
We're not one to blow things out of proportion.
Nope.
Dimonau's going to win tonight and every
Will,
other game he plays for the next 10 years.
Lock it in.
Where the Roos are back. You can tell
Roos,
this podcast, if you've come for seriousness, you've tuned into the wrong one. JT's full of it, but that's why we love him. Righto, mate. The other thing I've got to ask is, what have you been doing? Like, you have been on the road. We miss podcasts because you were gallivanting all around the country, hobnobbing, and thousands come out to watch you do your thing on stage. Tell us about this.
Mate, it was big. I have been on the road, so I've been up in Brizzy, Adelaide, Sydney, and Melbourne presenting. And every year there's a bit of industry data that comes out. So part of my role at the Australian Customer Experience Professionals Association, that just rolls off the tongue, is to present some of that industry data. So it was a sellout everywhere we went, which was bloody awesome. And so we had some decent crowds. And there's one of me in Melbourne. We had about 450 odd people in Melbourne, which is, mate, small fry for the amount of people that you're presenting in. But I've got to say, I was a little nervous going on stage in front of that many people. And I know, Donnie, that for a lot of people, and you would hear this all the time because you do so much public speaking, but it's like water off a duck's back almost for you. But, mate, for a lot of people, public speaking is the biggest fear, right? It is like they would rather die than actually speaking public.
Which seems a bit extreme.
I would have thought so, yeah.
But JT, I think it must admit, I got thrown in the deep end when I first started speaking, and I will admit, at my very first speaking engagement, I was confronted by the police officer that had booked me a couple of years ago for riding a motorbike in nothing but a pair of girl shorts and a helmet. So there is probably no deeper end to start with. And I got through that, and people come up to me and said, "Oh, that was funny. Who writes your stuff?" And I go, "I didn't have any stuff, mate. I was just telling it how it was." And that was my dad's number one tip to me when it comes to speaking. He goes, "Mate, if you know your stuff, you don't need notes. Tell it from the heart, tell it the way it is." So that's how I speak. But some great tips, JT. Have you got any? I've got a couple to share. Have you got any that you used on this tour?
Mate, there was a couple of things that to me resonated, and when I was told this always was just don't go out there and say, "Oh, hi everyone, my name's Justin." Whatever, right? Your name's already on the stage. They know who you are.
Just been introduced.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. So I always sort of have remembered that just to launch off, because I think if you just start off with a bit of confidence, it also sets the right tone. And I've watched plenty of videos I've seen some of the best present, including yourself. And I think if you just get people right at the start, with a good opening line or something that's relevant to them, it helps. I've heard that tip about just picture everyone naked. I'm not sure about that one, Donnie.
I usually need a cold shower when I start picturing people naked, JT, so that doesn't work for me. I much prefer to see them with their clothes on, because otherwise your mind might start wandering. JT, I'll tell you a couple of that really worked for me, and they work in all areas of life. So not just when you're confronted by 100 people or a new group, but little things. The big thing is your breathing. So take that nice big breath and bring it right down to your stomach. Have a feel around there at your stomach or your belly button, and then spell out the word calm. So as you spell out calm, you're doing it nice and slowly. You're just taking yourself to where you want to be. So you're basically centering. The other thing, JT, I find that works really well is plant your feet. Plant your feet, and we've got 3 receptors in our feet. 2 are in the balls of our feet, just back from our toes, and 1 is in our heel. And so if we plant our feet, whether you're sitting down or standing up, it just helps you be grounded, and that really gives you permission to be strong and ready to go. And like you said, be confident. The number one thing I believe when you're about to go out to speak is you need to believe that it's your turn. You are the best person to present whatever it is that you're about to present. And then that way it gives you permission to go, well, if I stuff it up, I'm the guru on this. It's going to be okay. And if I need some advice or somebody's got some other opinions, they'll hit me up with it. So, but back yourself, JT. You absolutely have to back yourself.
Yep, no, some good tips. It reminds me of one of my first international speaking jobs, mate, was over in, where was I? I think it was Singapore, and it was like a global people from the industry, blah blah blah. So it was a big deal. It was a big audience, and I had the guy I was traveling with at the time, who was also one of the speakers. He was at the back of the stage. He's like, "I'm going to video this," and we're all having a bit of a joke about it. I was shitting myself. I'm not joking. And I had a very heavy tech presentation. Right, I had a lot of sort of gimmicky slides, or a bit of a joke, blah blah blah. Anyway, of course, anything that could go wrong went wrong. Like the projector failed, the computer froze, and I was just absolutely dying, right? And I knew I was like really panicking. And I just remember him at the back of the room. He just went, like this to me, just to slow down, calm down, take that breath. Advice. And it really made a massive difference to me, because I did exactly what you said. I just took a big breath and thought, all right, I've got this, and it helped. So that was a real lesson, and so I 100% agree that breath thing, which sounds difficult because you got hundreds of people looking at you. It's just like, but you know what? It really helps.
The interesting thing about that is those 100 people are all looking, going, "Oh, thank God that's not me. I can't do that." You go, "Well, I am doing it, so she'll be right." And whatever tone we set is what other people pick up on. So well done, mate. I know it was a massive tour for you and a very big gig. I mean, the association's climbing and going from strength to strength. So, and you are the number one geek, the guru with the stats and all the other information that people want to know. So keep up the good work, mate. It's bloody fantastic. If we have to miss a podcast from time to time because we're busy doing what we do, then so be it. And we know our listeners they'll understand that and come back to us, when we're ready. So thanks, guys, for supporting us too when we do take those random breaks. And even if it is when I say tune in tonight and we're not there, which was nearly tonight, JT. Our bloody Facebook stuff nearly let us down, but we took a breath and here we are. So
here we are.
Mate.
Bizarre news stories.
So, Donnie, we've got all our usual segments tonight. We've got a few funny clips. We've been rounding up a couple, Donnie, and I know you brought this one to my attention. It has been getting a fair bit of news, it's also fair to say. But, Donnie, obviously the Olympics are coming up in Paris in 16 days, as we know. And, they've got a river running through the middle of Paris. Anyone who's been to Paris, very beautiful setting, lovely. And they thought, what a great idea let's hold the triathlon, I think it is, and let's have the swim leg in the river going through the middle of Paris. That'll be spectacular. And I think to put it into context, Donnie, that's probably like saying the Olympics is going to be in Melbourne. Let's do the triathlon in the Yarra.
Yeah, so it's got people just a little bit peeved, JT, the locals in particular, saying, hey, you're spending all this cash cleaning up the river to make it nice and swimmable, and you've basically spent a ridiculous amount of money putting us in the shit as Parisians, as the Paris locals, and we're not happy. So if the president is suggesting that he'll take a swim or to promote that, and the mayor and all the bloody dignitaries to take a swim and say the water is safe to swim in, just to promote the Olympics and all that sort of stuff, the locals said, we'll stitch them up, we'll take a shit in the river, and then you can swim in our shit because you've put us in the shit. So JT, there was websites built, there was all sorts of stuff. I just thought that was piss funny and quite bizarre, but isn't that just the power of the people, JT? Just to say, right, and that the website built, JT, timed, it showed people the flow rate. If you go and take a number twos and you're 10k up the river, how long it's going to take before it's bang right where it needs to be for the president's... I just thought it was hilarious, JT.
Well, it's funny, Donnie, as usual, we go to the end of the world to get footage of these sorts of things, and I have got an exclusive, an exclusive. Here we go. Mate, exclusive footage. There it is, Donnie. That is exclusive footage of the Seine River in Paris. Now, to the people, if they can't pick it up, do you want to walk people through, Donnie, what they're seeing at the moment on the screen there?
What we're seeing, JT, is we're seeing the emoji number twos floating down the sides. It's one looks like it's just jumped off the bridge. That's just been had, and it's coming. It's doing free fall. It hasn't quite hit the water. It looks like it's on top of the boat if I look closely enough. But JT, beautiful, camera work for you to capture that.
Thank you, mate. I put a lot of work into that. No, I put a lot of work into it. But what in all seriousness though, what are they complaining about? Is it surely cleaning up the river is a good thing? thing. So what's the issue?
Oh, JT, the cleaning up the river is one thing, but every single Olympic city has an enormous bill. The Olympic movement have got this incredible rort where they sting people and they make them put in all these new facilities that sometimes, remember, if you think back to Sydney 24 years ago, they talked about Sydney becoming a great big white elephant. They were building these facilities out in the middle of the West and no one really care about the area. And Athens, and we see them, they paint the bus route to the stadium so it all looks good for the cameras, but the truth is the problems don't go away, and the money, the billions of dollars that's been spent on the Olympics to host the games take years to get back and may never get back, but also too the problems and where that money could be spent could be way better, and that's why the locals get filthy with it.
Yep, no, it makes sense. I think it was over $2 billion, I think was the figure I roughly remember hearing to clean up the river. That was just to clean up the river. So you can understand from the locals going, that $2 billion could be spent doing a lot of other issues, I'm guessing. So, don't blame them. So, all right, mate, now, of course...
what else they could do, JT, with that? They could teach some Paris people some manners so that when people get there and can't talk French, they're not rude bastards to them. Geez, they're rough, the French, when you don't know how to speak France.
Mate, my experience with Paris is I wouldn't be rushing back, put it that way. So, yes, beautiful city.
Well, if you're Russian, you're not welcome back, I think. I'm not sure which side they're on. Anyway.
Mate, I agree. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a show without some trivia questions, Donnie. And we've got 3 questions lined up for tonight because the people love the trivia questions. So we're going to go early. We're going to go early with one now. And they're... Well, I think there's some pretty good ones. Now, anyone that gets the answer correct is going to go onto the wheel. And at the end of the show, when we're going to do a spin of the wheel, Donnie, what are the good people going to be winning tonight?
Oh, JT, have we got prizes galore? Our wonderful anonymous sponsors, JT, and they remain anonymous. I cannot wait to unveil them to the world. They have provided us 2 tickets to the football to Richmond and Greater Western Sydney at the Medallion Club in the Marvel Stadium in the car park. So, JT, a couple of tickets for that, and at the Medallion Club, I do believe it's a good place for a sipple. So people will be able to enjoy, not the driver, but they just leave them in the car, and the other 2 people go up, get on it, watch the footy, scream, do all that, hop back in the car and just chauffeur it home. So you just got to provide the car and the chauffeur. Apart from that, the tickets and parking is provided. And JT, spank, couple of bottles.
There we go.
The good stuff, JT. I've got some new
Did I hear you say
JT.
2 bottles? Did I hear you say
couple of bottles, JT? Well, I figure somebody's going to win the tickets. So I reckon, you've got 3 questions. When we put them all on the wheel, can we just spin it 3 times, go, of course we prize.
Let's do that. Done. All right. So the first question for tonight, guys. Now, as per usual, we've only got 30 seconds and we lock it off. So you've got to get your answer in quick, and it's just A, B, C, or D. Don't write the answer, write A, B, C, or D. Your first question, Donnie, is an Olympics theme because, again, Olympics 16 days away. Here it is, the first trivia question for the night. Who were the ancient Olympic Games held in honour for? Was it A, Zeus, the god Zeus? Was it B, the dead? Was it C, the emperor? Or was it D, Souvlaki Hut?
I know which one I'd say, JT, and it sort of begins with my name. But I probably wouldn't have that right. All
right, so get your answers in. It's A, Zeus, B, dead, C, emperor, or D, Souvlaki Hut. I'll give you a tip. It's probably not D, but I thought that was hilariously funny.
Anthony Koutafidis?
It was. Well, he was on there. Here we go. Answers coming up.
Oh, there it is. How many people have got that?
The answer was Zeus. There we go. So that is our
We've got some smart people in the group, right?
Trivia. We have got some very smart people. We've got a few. We've tricked a few. So well done. We're going to lock that off now.
D? If anyone said D, whack them on the wheel as well, because they're my type of person, a piss taker. Now, very good, JT.
Now, could we ask your beautiful other half, Buff? Can you just type in closed for me, please? In the comments.
I like what you're doing.
So we know that is done. And we will then carry on with some other questions. Now, Donnie, some of the other things, mate, we've got a segment which I know the people have sort of said they love it when we come up with this stuff. So let's get straight into this one for a bit of a laugh.
Dickhead of the week.
Oh, now we love bringing the attention to our great audience of some absolute dickheads and flogs that are out there, and there's plenty in this world. Let's be honest, Donnie. But mate, you being what's the correct term these days? Because if I said you're a retard, mate, I would be in all sorts of trouble. We're not allowed to say that anymore.
But you're right on the money, though. Like,
mate,
you're not the first person to accuse me.
I can't say you're a spastic. I can't say you're a knob. I can't say, mate. So if you're referring to a disabled person, is the correct term disabled, or is that offensive now and we've got to say something else?
Well, we're over.
You work in this industry, so what?
I do. I live and breathe the sector. We've seen person with a disability. I think is probably the short answer, because we're addressing the person first, and we're acknowledging the fact that they have a disability. And we also see there's a whole lot of people and a lot of advocates go down this space too, which saying they will provide other names. And I know, like years gone by, handicapped was a big one, and we still see some countries refer to people as handicapped. Personally, I think the number one thing is if somebody's acknowledging disability and making an effort, then let's cool our jets with if we don't quite get the terminology right. What I can say, JT, is let's rule out retard, spastic, and those ones there, because we're comfy to say that they're not really in.
They're not
we
good.
Don't have a
Got
place
it.
for those
Right.
anymore.
There you go, people. Do not say
JT, but there is the thing. If you have enough drinks, it's quite. Often you will be a bit spastic or a bit legless, and and in context that's fair enough. But it's certainly probably not the definition that we want to use.
Oh, there we go. So person with disability, I don't give a shit for all this woke stuff, but person with disability, and I have no doubt, Donnie, that some people are probably still going to be offended with that, because we mentioned that they're actually disabled and we shouldn't make reference to it whatsoever, because that's diminishing them as a person.
Stop right there, JT. Anyone who's offended with having a disability and being offended, hand back your parking, because I can sell that. You get the best car parks. Bloody give it back if you're not disabled anymore.
Yeah, and I'm happy to take it. All right, now on to the reason we raised that, Donnie, is because there's a lot of things put in place to help our people with disabilities. See, that's where I was going, right? To help them navigate around the world, because there's steps and things that are confusing and tough to navigate with wheelchairs and one leg and all this sort of stuff, Donnie. So our nomination for Dickhead of the Week, Donnie, is I think they've gone. You know what? There's a problem here.
Above and beyond.
Let's help our people, Donnie. So, of course, I've got to share the photo of this one because you have to kind of see it to believe it, Donnie. Donnie, walk us through what we're actually looking at there.
Well, there is a absolute cracking solution. Somebody's clearly picked up some cash to provide a ramp, accessible car park. You can see there's some paint there. That's your little electric spots there for the car. But what I'm loving is that ramp. Yes, it takes care of the gutter, but what they haven't probably considered is it's leaning up against the wheel stop for a car. So you try getting your wheelchair up or down that and you've got yourself some issues. But bloody good on them, JT. Good on those people for going, we care, but we're just too dumb to actually work this shit out. Had they have just dragged it over a metre, that photo wouldn't have existed. So we're glad they did that, JT. Half a job. Dickhead of the week for doing half a job.
Yeah,
not
absolute dickhead of the week. Now, I'm sometimes a bit reluctant to do this, Donnie, where we give you a bit of a platform just to let off a little bit of steam. And it's been a few weeks, so I'm a bit worried this could just go a bit far. But what the hell? Let's do it.
JT, my rant is very simple. It is the people that are providing the bail for people that have stuffed up. Don't just do it because you've got a bleeding heart and you've had a lawyer say, they've had a tough childhood, so let them out on bail and they'll be good and be back. JT, figures, because we talk a lot about Victoria and we talk a lot about New South Wales, figures out of Queensland this week is more than 1,100 youth offenders were charged with more than 8,400 bail breaches, JT. That means these little bastards have all caused, on average, around about 7 offences each while they're on bail. That, seriously, at what point do we just go, enough's enough, put them in a cell and just flog the fuck out of them, JT, because this shit is not okay. They're going into houses, they're stealing cars, they just need a flogging to go, hey, dipwit, next time you think about being an asshat, this is what's coming your way. Whack! And then we sort it out. So, JT, we're too soft, we're letting them out, and they're just biting the bail providers in the arse, and we're doing nothing about it. So, society, we've had enough. So we've had enough, JT.
But, you know, Donny, have we had enough? Because these people, some of them had very tough childhoods, Donny. And I heard that one of the cases that one of the kids, the dad yelled at him once and threatened to hit him with a wooden spoon. And, mate, so, I mean, is that really fair that we, you know, hold them accountable for such vile acts against them?
Oh, JT, it's terrible, isn't it? The thought of a kid losing his phone as punishment or actually staying in his room being grounded. JT, it's probably good time to move on to our next segment because this shit, it gets to me, JT. I've had enough. But anyway...
Well, no, you're right. Let's go to like a happier topic.
What do we got?
By 1990, no Australian child will be living in poverty.
Ah, Donny, not like our politicians to stretch the truth a little bit. And you've got to love this one, Donny, because cost of living crisis, everyone's doing it tough. We got the Governor-General that just got a lazy... How much, Donny? Did you hear about this one? About quite literally about a $200,000 pay rise for our new Governor-General. And, of course, the Governor-General has such a crucial role in doing... Well, jack shit, basically, cutting a few ribbons and opening stuff. So that is just an absolute disgrace. And then outside of that, Donny, the Victorian Parliament have just decided, well, okay, sorry, let me be clear. I've got to be factually correct because it's the GiddyUp Podcast. An independent panel, Donny, has decided that our politicians deserve a pay rise.
Well, JT, I'd normally be... I put this in because I figured I'd get your attention with this, right? But there was a little bit of like, I'm not sure about this, JT. And the reason, right, I did in my little...
What are you not sure
my 2 seconds of research. So the Governor-General thing, at least see your first pay packet before you get a pay rise. I've got a little bit of something about that, right? However, I'm not opposed, JT. This might sound weird, and Matthew might retract his statement here, but I'm not opposed to people getting a pay rise. Now, the police got, let's be honest, 4.5% pay rise. Now, 4.5%, and the media will say that is huge. But in the scheme of things, when we look at it and go, okay, CPI has just jumped from its normal 3.7%. And we have seen the AMBOs and the unions go to town and go, we want 10% over 3 years, which is around about 3 point whatever percent. JT, 4.5%, it hasn't kept up with inflation. So... I'm in favour of the pay rise for the police this time round, so I figured I'd throw that in as a curveball.
Donny,
I know you're filthy on this.
Mate, you're taking the piss, clearly. So I'm just going to go straight into our next trivia question, Donny, because I'm going to put this test to the people. Here is the next trivia question, and remember, A, B, C, or D. The trivia question, the second one for the night. What is it? How much is the basic salary of a Victorian MP? Is it A, 150k, B, 175k, C, 205k, or D, 235k? This is the basic salary. It doesn't include all the little bonuses and all the lovely little stuff that they get. The base salary. A, 150, B, 175, C, 205, or D, 235. 10 seconds left on the clock. Get it in.
And we're not talking about their away from home allowance and that
No,
sort of
exactly.
Stuff.
No allowances. Basic salary. Get it in quick. Get it in quick. Get it in quick. And there's your answer, Donny. $205,000. It's actually closer to $206,000. So, Donny, you want to give them a 4.5% pay rise when they're already over 200k, and this is not including all the bullshit allowances. And let's face it, they've got plenty of them. You've got to be absolutely shitting me, Don.
No, well, JT, you know why I want them to have this pay rise? is because only
this
a
would be
few
good.
episodes ago, right,
Yep.
you were handing in your Giddy Up resignation from the podcast because you were going off to do what? You were going off to be a script writer for Bill Shorten, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
So this is why I want them to have a pay rise, because I really love your company, and if we're going to hang out together, well, my next career move is going to be a politician. So let's give them as much coin as we can get them, and before we stop the pay rise, and then that way, JT, we can hang out together both on a good wicket. What do you reckon of my logic?
Yeah, I think your logic's completely stuffed, and those pricks don't deserve it. Mate, what are you getting the pay rise for? The state has never been in worse shape. What are we rewarding them for? It's ridiculous. They get paid enough. How about we base it on performance, Donny, and we base it on, the debt of the state and how the cost of living. Like, what? It's ridiculous, mate.
So are you asking them to pay JT? Is that what you're saying? They should be paying us?
Fucking wouldn't be far off it. So, anyway, mate, that's enough about politics. We've covered a lot of stuff, but
people on the wheel.
I know. So, mate, we've already gone through Dickhead of the Week. We've had a bash at the politicians, but it's time for a good news story, Donny. And this is always
what have we got?
Mate, this is one of the favourite sections where we get to pump up someone who, what we call our hero of the week. All right, Donny, I'm looking at your head. It's not a very attractive sight, I've got to tell you.
Sorry, JT.
You're trying to read the sheet, aren't you? Going, who the hell is the hero of the week?
Because you said, put your camera here so I can see you, right? And I've got all that. And it's right smack in the middle of the bloody... I can't see my screen or anything, but I've got you up on the big TV, so it's all good. So, JT, the hero of the week. Now, I know we're not governed by, these fancy alcohol laws and shit and the gambling responsible shit they say at every... No, we say load up, go your hardest. This is a Giddy Up podcast, right? But JT, what I'd like to do is I'd like to hats off to this person. Now, she drank, JT, this one here, 1.5 litres of vodka a day, JT.
A day.
A day. Now, I put this up here as that when I first heard it, I just thought, legend. But the truth is, she actually is a superstar. And the reason I tell you this, right, this is an interesting story that I was like, okay, you got my attention with the 1.5 litres, but let me find out about what the story is here.
Wow, so
now, this young lady, unfortunately, JT, had a really, really bad trot when she was young, teenager, and she was abused. I don't condone that for a second, and I don't put any light or joy around that. As a matter of fact, I wish we could shoot abusers. Unfortunately, that's against the law as well. So she found that throughout her life, she could numb the pain, and no doubt anyone who's gone through that sort of suffering wants to numb it. Numb it by drinking. Got to the point that drinking became a staple. Didn't have a drink that didn't have alcohol in it. So I go, okay, well, it sounds like a couple of people I know on a weekend, and that's how we roll, right? But JT, why I like this, right, is she said, righto, I'm just going to I need to get off the piss. So she had a crack to get off it, couldn't get off it, she was addicted, so that happens. She said, stuff it. I'm going to use the power of my mind, use willpower to get off it. Got off it, but in such a habit of just putting shit in her mouth, she started eating more stuff. Put on a shit ton of weight, JT, a lot of weight, and then found that the same strategy she used to get off the alcohol, she used to get off the bad food and the crap. So you look at her there, she's got a good rig, she's in good shape. And JT, why I acknowledge this is because the power of her mind. She kept saying to herself, before I eat this chip, this pie, this whatever, I'm going to think about what that's going to look like when it lands on my ass or on my thighs or on my guts, and I'm just going to picture it. And so through her imagination, imagine how powerful her head is, how strong she is, she was able to withstand from eating crap, get over being an Elko, a full-blown fledged Elko of 1.5 litres a day, and now absolutely flying and living a good life. So I think bloody hero of the week, JT. That's sensational.
I'd be interested to see what our listeners think if she's a worthy hero of the week. Jury's a little bit out for me on that one, Donny. But, mate, if you can get through 1.5 litres of vodka a day and still live to tell the story, that's impressive in itself.
It is impressive. Don't try that shit at home, kids, particularly my kids, because you'll drink me dry and I've got to give that away as prizes.
Very true. Speaking of prizes, again, later in the show, that before we end, 3 spins of the wheel, two bottles of Spank. I think it might be 2 bottles of Spank and also a tickets to the footy, Richmond versus GWS. One thing I love about that game, Dotty, is normally when you would say, you know, bottom of ladder clash, bloody North Melbourne, but mate, Richmond are on the bottom, Donny. Richmond.
They're not. Are Richmond on the bottom?
Richmond are on the bottom of the ladder. North are sitting pretty, mate. We're not even second bottom. We are up and about. I can't say it strongly enough.
JT, I'll tell you how many people I know would be happy to hear Richmond on the bottom, because a lot of people hate Richmond as a footy club. So I don't personally, but bloody fair enough. Suffering your jocks for Richmond if you.
Well, yeah, poor buggers, all those premierships and stuff. Now, Donny, we normally agree on most stuff, but there's a few times when we just don't see eye to eye on a few things, and I thought, well, that's why we've got this whole section.
What's this section?
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right, Donny, let's talk. Now, mate, you put this up. Right, so
I did. I put it up.
Just so our listeners know, this did not come from me. This came from Donny, and Donny has raised the question, and I don't know which side of the fence he sits on yet. We might be on the same page. We could be completely opposite.
We'll make sure that we've got one of each. So
Well, I'll happily go either way. But the question has been raised to everyone.
I've heard that about you.
With the recent court case in the US a week or so ago, that in really simple terms, you know, the premise was that perhaps the US president is above the law. And the question has been raised is, well, should the American president be above the law? Donny,
fair question.
Where are you standing, mate? Because, you know, president of the free world, you know, there's a lot of hard decisions that have to be made that maybe us mere mortals and common people wouldn't understand the pressures that come with that role. So is it okay for them to just be above the law to make some tough decisions when they have to be made?
JT, let me preference this with the statement that was made after the prosecution went to town, and that is the president is not above the law, but under our system of separated powers, the president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, and he is entitled to at least presumption immunity from prosecution for his official acts. Now, JT, that is, in a nutshell, the president is above the law. I think the world has gone to shit the moment the president is above the law. I am standing on the where are we at that we can give any one man power and that much power. So considering his role in a democratic part of the world. So we're not talking Kim Jong-un here, who's got a little closed-up shop over in North Korea. We're talking this bloke's got a fair whack in NATO. They've got a fair say in a lot of things. So, JT, I'm suggesting, and we've seen a bit of history. We've got to understand why this come around in the first place. This guy called his followers and said, let's burn the Capitol building down. So that in itself...
Allegedly. He has a lot of expensive lawyers, allegedly.
So, JT, what we're talking about here is this is bloody crazy. I don't know how anyone can. I completely agree that this guy's got to make some tough decisions. Let's be honest. He calls in the troops and he's the chief in command, and he can say, yes, this person gets executed or exonerated, or yes, we're going to war and we know there's going to be death at war. But to be put above the law and immune from prosecution, JT, I think America's gone nuts.
Well, there it is. That is the debate. Donny has made a very clear position on what he thinks. We're interested in what you guys think out there as well, because, Donny, I think you're full of it. I actually am okay with it. I think
he should be immune.
Mate, well, let's not make it about Trump, because it's not. This could be to any sitting president. So it's got nothing to do with Trump. The media would like to sensationalise and make it about Trump, but it's not. It's about any sitting US president. And I think when you actually look at the law that sits behind it, I think the version that you've given and the statement that you read off your TV screen there is a very simplified and very biased view of the law that's been put in place. Now, we're not legal experts. I'm not going to argue on the legal case.
Sure?
I don't understand it enough. But I, like most things, mate, I don't think what we're being told and the way the media are trying to spin it is actually the true story. So maybe we'll do a bit more research and we might continue this debate next week.
But it is an interesting one, though, to think about the law that's good for every other person, yet somebody is immune from... Like, so you're just saying, righto, the president and his motorcade can do 200 k's an hour down a road and nobody else can do that. And he will not be prosecuted. There's no point at anywhere when the law is in question and he goes, it doesn't apply to me. Like, that's a dangerous place, don't you think?
No, but do you think that already happens already? Like, do you not think that there's special privileges for politicians, for Olympic athletes, for football stars, for whatever? Of course there are. And so if all this is doing is putting some legalities around that and saying, let's not just be cloaks and daggers, let's be really transparent around what powers or not the US president has. I don't have an issue with clarifying that. Do I give a shit if his motorcade goes 200 k's down the freaking freeway with a bloody 400 cars around him and the road's closed? Why would I? Does that mean everyone else should be able to do it? No, of course not. So I think the reality is...
But why not? That's the question. Why not? Why can't...
Because everyone else doesn't have 200 cars around them. Like, the US president, whether we like it or not, is leading a population of 500 million people and, is called the leader of the free world. Of course, that comes with great responsibility. And they have to do things that others don't. They have to get from A to B quicker than other people. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And if that means they need some special powers to be able to do that, sure. I think where it gets a little bit tricky, and this is the bit, again, that's being spun, is does that mean he can just go and grab a gun out of his pocket and just walk up to anyone in the street and kill him and go, hey, you can't get me? Of course it doesn't. No one's suggesting that.
But why doesn't it?
What do you mean? Because he's not above the law for some things.
But
and
that's the whole point of this debate is saying, is he above the law or isn't he above the law? You can't be half pregnant.
You can be half pregnant because the devil's in the detail. What is he above the law for? That's what this law is about. It is actually trying to put some parameters around what is above and what is not below the law. Like I said, if he's just walking up and wants to randomly shoot people, that's wrong, right? Clearly, right? You'd be charged with murder like anyone else. But, what other privileges, though, constitute coming with the US presidency or any other role? I don't have an issue with it. I want to know the detail. And if the law was a blanket law and said you are above the law with you can do whatever you like, I'm on your side. No way in hell should anyone get that, ever. I don't care who you are. But if there's rats and mice shit that we're just arguing for the sake of a media story, that's where I go, you know what, maybe we're not seeing the full picture here.
So let's just back this up a little bit, JT. I think what I heard is I'm on your side, Don. I think you've won this debate. That's what I heard. Did I not just hear you say that?
I think we heard to be continued. But mate, that's why we love having a debate. And and the whole idea with GiddyUp Podcast was quite literally just to have a chat, like two blokes would be, two mates having a chat. We don't have to agree on everything. And I think sometimes that's how we learn. We just hear other people and we'll go, that's a good point or that's a shit point. Either way, what we want to do is try and give you some slightly different opinions. So there you go.
Has Kim had any opinions tonight?
Mate, is Kim? Oh, Kim on. About 400 comments, Kim. There's no prizes for the most comments.
There is. Funny ain't there is, especially if they're supporting me. I love it. Thanks, Kim.
And
anyone else who wants to support me.
Angie, pull her head in, mate. Get her away from the keyboard. Drag her away. All right. Now, Donnie, we've got one more trivia question to go. But before we get into that, mate, I was just going to say, I reckon it's time for a bit of a dad joke. What do you reckon?
Yes. Yep. Funny ain't.
All right. Here we go.
Dad joke of the week.
Now, Don, it's been a while since we've done a dad joke, so I've had a lot of time to do a lot of.
You got some real good quality stuff.
Yeah,
you've been
high quality, but a bit rusty. So you just got to go with me, guys. I want everyone to. This is good. I want everyone to get close to their screen. This is a good one. You got to make sure.
My fat head, you don't need any closer.
All right, so Donnie, a man walks into a library. That's why you got to get close, right? So, man walks into the library, and just got to loosen up a bit for this one. Ready?
Head wobble.
So a man walks into a library and he approaches the librarian and he says, "I'll have a cheeseburger and fries, please." And the librarian says, "Sir, you know you're in a library, right?" So he goes, "Sorry, I'll have a cheeseburger and fries, please."
I thought in your time off, JT, you'd have some time to weed out the shit ones. But, okay. Oh, no, I like where you've gone with that. That's, yeah. Let's hear what the people got to say, because they're usually a good judge of character. Thank you. Yeah, that's more like what I was thinking. That was a tokenistic laugh I gave you because it wasn't. That's not your best work, JT. Sack your dag joke, scriptwriter.
Sorry, mate. Technical difficulties. Didn't hear a thing you said. What? Piss off, everyone. That was the best work. All right. Now, we're going to get into the third trivia question because, it's going to take about 4 hours to... hang on. Like, Remy, you can go to hell too. All right, that's it. Bloody Denise, book, you're out. Can we ban people on this page? Anyone, someone, give me some support.
Thank you.
Your mum's into me, mate. This is just not right. That's bloody hell.
This is some Donny love right there. That's, geez, that's a fair. That is a right kick in the guts.
Even Oscar's sitting next to me and he's giving me nothing. This is bullshit. All right, get stuffed, everyone. On our final trivia question. All right, so here we go. There we go, Kelly. You are my new hero. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah, but she won't be in public tomorrow, mate. She's embarrassed. Read that. She's embarrassed now, Cal.
She still laughed. It's okay. It's a dad joke. It's all right. All right. So, our final question. Now, this is one of my favourite ever trivia questions. So I'm building it up.
Really?
But it genuinely is one of my favourite ever. Now, remember, you got 30 seconds. Denise is going to be hot on the, or Boof, I should say.
On the close,
he's going to be hot on the close. So make sure you get in. Here it is, our final trivia question and big prizes tonight. What is a group of unicorns known as? A group of unicorns known as? Is it A, a herd? Is it B, a shimmer? Is it C, a crowd? Or is it D, a rainbow? What is a group of unicorns known as? A, a herd, B, a shimmer, C, a crowd, or D, a rainbow? You've got about 10 seconds left, so get your answers in as quickly as possible because it's going to close off pretty soon. Question? No, mate, no trick question. This is a genuine thing.
It's surreal. Well,
A, B,
people aren't
C, or
buying into this,
D.
JT. They're bloody concerned that they're going to... Is that a thing?
It is a thing. The answer was B, a shimmer of unicorns. So there you go. You've now learnt something tonight as well. Not a lot of people got that one.
JT, it's been challenged. There's a call from beyond, and it's saying, isn't it a blessing? I think someone's bullshitting. I'm not sure who, JT.
Mate, GiddyUp Podcast is always 100% right, and even if we're wrong, it's stiff shit because we say
we're still right.
Under our terms and conditions, whatever I say is right, so bad luck. So we're going with the shimmer. Now, of course, some people might want to argue the toss that there's no such thing as unicorns either, but hey.
Thank you. That's why I thought it was a trick question.
No, they were very much a real thing, Donny. So anyway, there's the answer, a shimmer of unicorns. Now, Donny, that means I have a lot of work to do in entering all these on the board because we still haven't got an assistant. And so the thing that sort of puts
How come we haven't got an assistant yet? Is it our pay rate?
Mate,
we're not in line with the pollies. That's what it is.
It could be the pay rate of nothing that might be holding us up a little bit, but and no one wants to hang out with us. So, but aside from that, I can't see the issue. So, mate, I'm going to hand it over to you, Donny. Now, you have got a couple of things still to talk about on the run sheet that I don't know if you can see.
What did I do? Did I put some stuff?
Mate, you did have a great... let me give you a throw to it because this will help you. So, Donny...
Maybe don't. Cost of living. Oh, shit, what's that? Oh, okay. JT. Right, okay. Let me clarify. This will not save you any money. but it will save you. It will save you losing your shit as a dad, right? And that's why I wanted to share this with you. I was thinking, like, here's a life hack that would help a family. And I saw it, JT. I see a lot of stuff, and interestingly, for a bloke who doesn't follow the media, and I'm not a big fan of social media, I use it because it's part of my life, but really, I'd be happy to go without it and just speak with people. And I love that more than anything. So, JT, this is my life hack for, well, particularly if you're a bit heavy-handed when it comes to discipline. And so much so, Hayden, I know you're watching, and I'm going to get you to do this for me, and we're going to introduce this to our life. And that is, if you're, the program, or the session we're going to do, is we're going to get you to write a note, okay? And the note is going to say this, and that is, if you're scared to tell me something, just bring me this note as a reminder that I'm here to support you, and I won't get mad. I will work with you on a situation to best keep this sorted, okay, to find a solution. So when I read that, I just thought, that's bloody gold, because I know things happen, like a window breaks, or, you know, they've not done the right thing, the kids, and I just get pissed off. And it's like, fuck, how hard is it just to get your shit sorted? And every now and then, I know I'm heavy-handed with my response, and when I saw this, I just thought, I could use that. So it's as simple as this. Get your kids to write a note, keep it in a drawer, and it's not going to be a get-out-of-jail-free card. But it is an opportunity for you to bring me that note, and for me to take that as a reminder that I need to take a breath. I need to work with you and listen to you and find a solution to make sure that we get the best possible outcome without me losing my shit. So there you go. There's a life hack. Work with your kids, put a note in the drawer, and then when they've done something wrong, and they're really scared to come to you, and it might not be that they've done something wrong, but they're scared because they've crossed the line, or they've done something that with their mates, or they've been involved in something, it'll just let them know that you're going to take a breath and help with that. So I think it's a beautiful thing. Hayes also agrees, so we're going to adopt this, and I hope what it does is I hope it strengthens our relationship for the rest of our life. I just think it's a beautiful thing to do. So anyway, there we go. That's my life hack for tonight, JT.
Love your life hacks, Donny. They are always gold, and that is why you are one of the top motivational speakers in the country. And it's coming into Olympics time, mate. So this is a very exciting time. Donny, might be a little busy time, I think. So now, Donny, speaking of busy things, you have been teasing the listeners with a massive announcement. And
guess what,
I'm still waiting. We're all waiting.
And we're almost there. I can almost tell you what it is. I will be excited, and I cannot wait to share this with you. And JT, when I share it, I shit you not, the GiddyUp Podcast is where I'll share it. This is the family. This is where I want to unveil this news that I've been keeping under wraps from you as my manager, from really close people to me. I've said, sorry, can't tell you. It's hush hush. But I will, and I'll share it here so that everybody can, they can share my joy or tell me to get stuff, one way or the other.
Okay, mate.
Only weeks away, JT. We are only weeks away.
So you keep saying, it's funny that you say it's only weeks away, because, mate, the Olympics is only 16 days away, Donny.
Oh, it's nothing to do with the Olympics, JT. Well,
no? Is it?
Stay tuned.
Oh, okay.
I know you're trying to preempt it.
I just thought, Olympics, Donny, Don does a lot of the Olympics, he used to carry the flag, he's been in a few Olympics. I'm just trying to work it all out, just can't, I'll just have to keep waiting. Bloody frustrating.
Thank you, Kim, it is exciting for me too, and I'm doing well to keep this under wraps, because I bloody can't wait to share it, to be honest.
You're doing incredibly well. All right, it is the wheel. Now, we trumped them tonight, Donny. I am back. I am absolutely back, and great idea, your mum. And mate, thank you so much for offering to sponsor Donny and I for flying over first class, mate. I appreciate that. Once the money's in the bank, we're on our way.
Rolling that, bloody
yeah, mate. Of course. Pretty sure we can rule out the.
That is a piss take right there. No, there's no runway modelling.
No, okay.
It's very funny.
All right,
Donny. Kelly on as a guest. She's very
this is the wheel. Just a few
Oh, these
names
people all
on
got
there,
it
mate.
right, did they?
These are the people that got all three answers, every time they got a right answer, they're on the wheel. So there's a couple of people on there a couple of times, as you can see it
Righto.
spinning around. So good luck with everyone. I'm just trying to make sure.
We've got some people protesting too,
Fuck that
JT. I'm getting
protest
my
away
phones
before I
lit up.
spin it. Mate, protest away before I spin it. I'm ready. I'm happy to take
No,
it.
it's about the unicorn. The naming of it is really rattled as a few people.
Oh, has it really?
Filthy,
All right,
yeah.
good.
We will have to get our judges to clarify this. They might even. Well, we're not afraid to say we were wrong. It's unlikely, but we're not afraid. So right, spin that sucker,
All right.
JT.
So Donny,
give away some
what are we?
stuff.
What are we going to do? We're going to do the 2 bottles of Spank first, or are we going to go the footy first? What's the?
Let's
what's the order?
go. Let's go. Spank, footy, spank.
Spank, footy, spank. All right. So this is for a bottle of Spank.
Write
Good
it
luck,
down, JT.
everyone. We are away. Go. Here we go.
All you have to do, if you're the winner of this bottle of Spank, all you have to do is let me know your details. Kim
A has one now. The reason I was
D's
looking
gonna be
at
pissed off.
Yeah, I know. I was going to go. Did I stuff? I was actually looking at going. Did I stuff that up? And he's actually. I actually did because it was. It's actually Kim D. I just because the answer was A, and I kind of got it wrong. So Kim. There's my first stuff up.
That's funny.
I was going to say, have we got a new Kim listener? All right, that is Kim D. My apologies, but
I'll
Kim,
go back
you
there
have
and
one.
check the,
I will fix that
notes,
right
JT.
now on the wheel. Watch this live fix. There we
Look
go.
at this is live. This is fancy. I just
so there we go.
put
Kim,
those
you have
mates in there.
you've won yourself a bottle of Spank. Well done. So this.
I think JT, what it was is Kim picked A.
That's exactly. That's what I said. I stuffed it up. I was. All right. So Donny, the next one. This is
footy
for the
tickets.
Footy tickets. So this is for the Richmond GWS game this weekend
Yes.
on whatever day.
Marvel Stadium.
At Marvel Stadium.
Yeah,
This
I'll
is it.
tell you what day it is. I can get you that. While you're bringing it up, I'll find out the facts.
All right. Here we go. It's just going to hit the wheel. Ready?
Hit it,
Here we
mate. Do it.
And hitting the wrong screen. There we go. And
Sunday, JT. Sunday, the 14th
Sunday.
of July. Sunday, the 14th of July. These people are going to Denise B. Who'd have?
did I get that wrong as well? Did I get that wrong as well? Because the answer was B. It's Denise. It's Boof. It's your bloody missus, Donny.
Boof's going.
Fuck, I've stuffed everything up tonight.
Oh, JT, I don't
I'm a
give
bit
you
rusty.
any jobs, and this is why.
Mate, I'm a bit rusty. All right, I just should have straightened
Oh,
Boof in
that's
I should have
that's
put
very
Boof in
funny.
the.
That's you,
I should have just
by the
put
way,
Boof in the first place.
Boof,
There we go.
Boof,
There we go.
Right,
Problem solved.
no more Denises on there.
There you go. You're off to the footy. Good luck. That is
Yes.
awesome. All right. So this is for the bottle of Spank. I wonder if I've stuffed anyone else's up. I'm looking at the
Why'd
names
you
now
take-
going, God, who else have I stuffed up here? All right. Ready? Here we go.
Righto, spin it.
Bottle
Here we
of
go.
Spank.
This is for a bottle of Spank. So we've got Kim's got one, Boof's off to the footy, and
Max.
Maxie Stewart.
There we go. Maxie. Boom.
Maxie gets a bottle of Spank. He just celebrated his 2nd anniversary. A lovely young lad doing wonderful things in the world, JT, and he's going to be able to enjoy that Spank. And I really look forward to making sure Kim and Max enjoy their Spank, and Denise enjoys her footy. So big weekend. Wow, look at that.
Well done. Good stuff, Maxie. Well done, Boof. And, of course, Kim. That is good clean-up, mate. 3 prizes. Loving that. Enjoy the footy, Don Boof. I'm tipping if you don't take Don, there could be some trouble. But anyway, we'll cover that next week. But
we might never get any more tickets for the podcast if you take me to the
also-
footy and I give it a touch-up. Anyway,
also very, very true. Good thing it's not a North game, because if it was, the wheel may have just accidentally been broken.
Kept spinning.
Donny, what else? Have we got anything else? I think we've covered just about everything we had on the run sheet.
I think we've covered it. We've gone past people's bedtimes, JT. I don't even
bloody
reckon
hell.
we need a final thought. I reckon we just say thank you, good humans. We'll see you next week. Who we got, JT? We got Dimonor playing tonight. Oh, JT, can we go early next week? It is the decider, State of Origin. Kid you not, JT. We're going to have to go. Can we go 7 o'clock next week?
Mate, we will. I actually have a funny feeling. You know, we were talking about what we
got
do
shit
and what
on.
we don't do. I may be in Brisbane next week. I've just got to confirm. We've got our first
What a
ever.
place to be when Queensland win the State of Origin Day, T. I hope
Oh,
you're there.
actually, that's actually a really good point. That means my
book
flights are
your
going to
flights.
cost me. Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to cost a bomb. Yep.
And accommodation, and geez, maybe I won't be there. Maybe I won't be there.
Sleep on the couch, mate. Stuff the blues, says Remy
very, very
Ray.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everyone. It was good to finally be back. We will let you know about what's happening next week. But Donnie, that's it from us, eh?
Thanks for the giddy up, love. Take care. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Giddy up.